And now, live from Pod Cabin in Burbank, California, it's the Allison Rosen is Your New Best Friend show. Tonight, Allison welcomes her guests. He's a comedian, curler, and co-host of Block Party. It's John Cullen. He's a comedian, go-off king, and co-host of Block Party. It's Stefan. And she's a comedy writer and sometime Nantucketer named Pinky. It's Shorr. Tone Zone is here to thrill at the modern miracle that is Zoom. I'm her husband, Daniel, saying hop on board the love bus and say hello to your new best friend, Allison Rosen.
Allison Rosen. Allison Rosen is your new best friend. Allison with her good times never end. Allison Rosen, doing the wavy pencil dance again. Allison Rosen. Allison's your new best friend.
Hello, my little apple cider donuts. Welcome to another exciting episode of Allison Rosen is Your New Best Friend. That particular carbohydrate was sent in on Patreon. By Jay Melville. Yes, I am on Patreon, patreon.com/Allison Rosen. All sorts of fun stuff. Bonus episodes of The Friend Zone. That is my Patreon podcast. I just recorded a super bonus length one with RJ City. That will be going up audio and video very soon. And then there's, you can see this very video of what we're recording right now, and you might think it sounds like things are just going off without a hitch, but so many hitches have happened so far you don't even know. And also, one of our guests who normally blow dries her hair, let it air dry. That is something you need to see. Sure, you can go look at a photo. Anyone can look at a photo, but you need to see it move. It's kinetic. It's dynamic. And that's the kind of thing that my patrons get access to. And then also, there's love where you can text me and I'll text you back. I mean, we're talking major rewards, people. Patreon.com/Allison Rosen. Subscribe for a year. Get 2 months free or do it month by month. It's really up to you. Anyway, very, very, very excited for this episode. I don't know if you've noticed, but the level of Canadian content on my show is like through the roof lately. I mean, we're talking pronunciation. That's mostly what we're talking about. I would like to say, first of all, though, I'm going to say hello to my American friend, Shorr. Hello and welcome back.
Hello. Bon voyage.
Hello.
No, that's French.
That's not it.
Oh, that's not right. Hello from America to the Canadians, to the Canadians across the sea. What? I don't know.
I don't know. It works for me. It's because you let your hair air dry.
I know. I'm my most authentic self right now, which means we all should duck and run.
I like it.
Thank you.
I like it.
It's very vulnerable of me to appear in public with air-dried Jewish person's hair. It's not.
I keep threatening to let my hair air dry, and I'll even it's like for the first 2.5 years that Daniel and I were dating, I'd be like, I'm gonna fart. and then I wouldn't. But I mean, you should see me now. Oh man. But I would get stage fright and then I wouldn't be able to. And so I keep saying I'm going to let my hair air dry, and then I get close to it and then I'm like, I can't. I have to blow it dry. By the way, I'm well aware that no one cares. No one's like, oh yeah, please post the photo, please.
I actually really care because I want
I care too.
I don't want to compare our air dries, but I see girls on Instagram that are just I just did this air dry and I don't believe it. And this is an authentic air dry. And I don't think it went well. And I'm here, warts and all, to discuss it.
Okay, well, see, here's the thing. And then I'm bringing my other guests in, Robin. You have blonde privilege because your hair is light and flaxen and it catches the light. And so I think when you air dry, even if it's got some texture to it, it works. Whereas I have black hair. So if I air dry it, just is like a big pile of witch's hair.
Okay.
John Cullen. Hello.
Hi.
Vancouver's own curling fanatic who co-hosts Block Party, which I've now been on twice, and I had a wonderful time. One time was a Patreon episode where I learned about Canadian Heritage Minutes, and boy, did I learn a lot about how basketball was invented with peach baskets, and I learned about how the hockey mask was invented in a pinch and it was controversial, and I learned about Pierce Brosnan being a fake Native American. Is that no?
No. What?
Native Canadian Indigenous person?
First Nations or Indigenous.
How classically American of me to say that. My God. That was gross. Tony, take me out back and shoot me.
All right.
I mean, thank goodness. I don't know how good a shot you are because you're across the country right now. So just maybe do that when you get back.
That sounds more
probably
reasonable. Yeah.
Yes, because that was like pretty gross what I just said. Anyway,
This is still my intro, right?
no, honestly, it was never truly.
No, it was great to have you on
yeah.
the show. By the way, you said you had fun on our show. We had fun having you as well, and I'm surprised. Actually, we recorded that episode like 2 weeks ago. I'm surprised you retained that much information already. To be honest, I mean, aside from the whole, Native American thing.
Oh my God. Well, yeah, and that wasn't me forgetting. That was me never knowing the correct terminology. Clearly, honestly,
I understand.
that was me. What that was is I know what Pierce Brosnan was dressed as. I know how old I am. I know the word that my mouth wanted to say based on what I would have called a person dressed in that garb in school. And then my brain quickly was like, we don't call them that anymore. And instead I said Native American, but that's totally inaccurate too. So it was just, it's the woke police coming for me. You know how it is.
Our country forgives you, Allison. Don't worry. You're fine.
Thank you. I hope everyone realizes that I'm being completely facetious. I also remember the Canadian Minute with the incredibly sad and dark one with the Irish orphans with French accents.
Yes.
Those Canadian Minutes really left an indelible imprint on me.
Good.
I've learned a lot.
That's the whole point.
Flags.
The bonus episode is literally called Canadian Education Program for Foreign Podcasters, and we try to teach our American listeners something. And I'm glad to say, I think Stefan, we've done like 12 of them. I think that might be the first time we've ever
I think that's the first time we've ever actually
made
taught
something
anyone
stick.
something.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay, so let's finish your intro, then let's intro Stefan, and then let's explain what we're talking about to Tony and Robin, because they might be like, what? Okay, so I feel like we introed you. Do you feel we've left anything out? Do you need to say anything else?
I'm still stuck on the part where you let your listeners text you. That's still running around. Only because I know the people who listen to my podcast, and I would never allow them.
Well, so it's not my personal cell phone number,
Right? Yeah,
it's a separate number. You know what? I have to say, because I did wonder, am I opening Pandora's box here? But they have all been wonderful, and I've been wonderful. That part I could have predicted.
Just go, girl.
But thank you, me. It's gone well. It's been very nice, I think, for everyone involved. I
think
can't
it's
speak for
you're
them.
nice, probably, and
I
your
hope
listeners
so.
are probably nice. And I feel like it's definitely be very dangerous for us to do that.
Yeah, our listeners are nice, but they're like they're like freaks, but they're like nice freaks.
Yeah.
It's weird. I have really cultivated a very nice listenership of people who are respectful. Like when I go to text, if it's late at night, I'll get this automatic thing from the service that hosts the number. And it's like, quiet hours are between this. Are you sure you want to send it? And I'm like, I think I do, but I don't know if I want to or not.
Ooh.
Where are you? Okay, you know what? Let me bring in
Stefan.
Yeah, Stefan Heck. I love that name. What a fun name.
Thank you.
I mean, it's your given name,
Yeah.
I'm assuming.
But it's
Hello.
fun. Yeah.
Yeah. Welcome.
Yeah.
Welcome to the
Thank
show.
you for having me. I'm glad we're talking about the Heritage Minutes again.
Yeah.
I watched a bunch after the episode that we didn't watch on the episode too. So, yeah. I mean, I feel like I learned some stuff too.
Okay, so let's get into that in a moment. Oh, hang on one second. Tony Thaxton, hello.
Hi, I'm back, kinda.
You're not.
Where are you, Tony?
Yeah, where are you?
I am in New Jersey right now.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I'll be back in LA on Friday, and then I'm back for real.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
So
We've missed
Tony
you.
is a world famous drummer for a band called Motion City Soundtrack, and he keeps leaving my show to go drum with his stupid band. And now he just finished another tour, and he's just dangling in New Jersey, but he's coming. But he's here actually, so I should not castigate him like I'm doing. Thank you for joining the show, Tony. It's wonderful
Thank you for having me. It feels weird to be recording so late for
you
right now.
Yes. I know.
Yeah. It's like the old days.
And are you wearing?
I've seen Tony's band before. Sorry to interrupt.
Oh, no, interrupt away.
Back in the day, Warped Tour, back in those days. Yeah, fun times. So, yeah, congratulations on all your success.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Listen to these nice Canadians.
Canadians, man. God damn it.
I didn't know what else to say. It felt like we were stuck in a moment where I was just like, yeah, I saw your band. And you're like, cool, dude. Like, it was just like a weird. So I was like, I didn't know how to put a button on that. So I was just like, you know what? I'll just congratulate him for every good thing that's happened.
No, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Tony, are you wearing fancy in-ear monitors right now?
Yeah, I didn't want to travel with my big bulky headphones. So, yeah.
Did you travel with that microphone arm that's attached to the microphone?
No, I had that sent here yesterday. Well, it came today, actually. That's right. I spent some dollars on this show today.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
That makes me feel good. Via Amazon?
I'll invoice you.
Oh, my God.
No, I believe you have to get it approved by HR, which is me. Anyway, let's see. Oh, yes. Okay, real quick. Do we feel that it is acceptable to send a text at any time of day? I do, because I always have my phone silenced.
Yeah, I feel like everyone has Do Not Disturb on like automatically after like 10:30 or 11. So if they see it, they're awake. It's fine. If they're asleep, they won't see it till the morning. So it's fine.
So I'm fine with receiving a text at any time. However, I'm always hesitant to send a text at a weird or late time.
Same. I think I think twice before, this is going to sound so weird, but there are some guys in my life who are like my best friends of like 30 years. And like at 9:30 last night, I was like, oh, I got to text David. And then I was like, we're not in 12th grade anymore. I mean, they didn't have texting when we were in 12th grade, but like, I was just like, no, that's disrespectful. Like, I don't want, you know what I mean? I've heard
like
that
you don't
you're
want
not
his
supposed
wife
to text a member of the sex that you date after 9:00.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say is like, I think, so I have no problem with it. But I do think that if I were to send a text to someone after, I would say like 10 p.m., you do somewhat have to consider like the potential sexual dynamics of that, if there are any. So, but yeah. But other than that, yeah, I mean, I wasn't ready for that, but yeah.
I was.
Yes, exactly. I love it. We're talking about getting a soundboard on Block Party, maybe. So this is like, maybe this is like a good test run.
On my Twitch stream. You were mentioning it before we started recording, John.
Yeah.
But the sounds on my Twitch stream, you can pay like $10 and it'll play a clip of, do you remember that, this is like a Napster classic, Duck Job, which was Donald Duck, receiving like oral pleasure. It was a comedian who did
receiving
a really good
a job at Walmart.
Yeah, he did a very good impression of Donald Duck.
You're hired.
And he was on some like morning zoo, like drive time radio show, and he did an impression of Donald Duck being sucked off. And we paid a guy on Fiverr to do an impression of Yoda from Star Wars being sucked off, like word for word the same thing. And on our stream, you can pay like $10 and it'll just play that clip over us talking, and it's like deafening. So I feel like the sounds you guys have here are perfect because they're kind of more like, they add to the punchline a little bit. Whereas ours are just like drowning us out on the Twitch stream. So.
But you get people to pay you $10 for that, and we give away the punchlines for free?
Ooh.
Tony, what are we doing?
Yeah.
I don't know. I would like to thank him for clarifying that it was Yoda from Star Wars.
Right, not Yoda from All in the Family.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
I appreciated the
That was great.
clarification.
Yeah.
I did. I needed.
So wait, Robin, when he explained that it was Donald Duck getting sucked off, you went, "Oh yeah." Are you familiar with this?
I believe it's a big drop on Howard Stern that they use all the time. And there is a part of me that wants to do an impersonation of it. I won't, because it might not be the right thing.
It is tempting.
Please.
It is tempting. And you were like, oh, well, there was this one night I sent Donald a text at 10:30, and then one thing led to another.
Robin is a voiceover artiste.
Oh,
She
okay.
has done
You have
commercials
to do this.
for Biore. She has done commercials for Salad. You might have seen her in a Christmas movie with Steve Guttenberg. Come on,
but
Robin.
you know something, Stefan, you mentioned Fiverr, and I don't have a voiceover agent anymore because it's too cumbersome for me to try and find all my old samples, and I can't get it together. So I looked on, there's like sites like, is Fiverr the kind of site where you can go on and do a voiceover job like Donald Duck giving a blowjob or getting a blowjob and get paid for it?
Yes.
Oh my
correct.
God.
Yeah.
I'm moving to Malibu. And
So
guess
can
what? Sorry. Go ahead.
I also have some business I need to take care of on Fiverr. So I
Ooh.
mentioned, on this show, I haven't made a big deal about it. It's not something I think about more than once a day. However, my Wikipedia page, which I had nothing to do with its creation, I was like, I should look at it because you know how Wikipedia page is. Someone could like go in and be like, she gobbles 600 dicks every 5 minutes. And I'm like, I just want to make sure it doesn't say that because it's been
Sure.
many years since I've looked at it. So I went to look at it and lo and behold, it wasn't there. I'm like, that's strange. And so then I did a little more looking and I saw like all these pages directing to it. Other people who on their page, it mentions that they go on my show, which I feel indicates some kind of notability about me. But anyway, I have been erased from Wikipedia because I don't meet their notability criteria. It has been deduced. And I was able to like find a log where the, Wikipedia Gestapo they like voted on it and they decided, they blackballed me. They decided, no, I don't meet the criteria because for various reasons, which I disagree with, but I don't know. I'm not a Wikipedia person. I don't really know. And this had happened back in 2009. And I went through the same cycle of like, why do I care about this? It's like I look in the mirror, I have a reflection, I do still exist, but I feel like I'm being erased. Again, both times I had nothing to do with its creation, nothing to do with its management. Like this has all happened outside of me. And then I become invested because I'm like, I feel like I'm being nominated for something and now I am not receiving I don't know. It's like, it's a weird feeling. But anyway, their reasons for erasing it feel specious to me. So I think I want to, I cannot believe I'm admitting this out loud because now it's like, oh, I am getting my elbows in it. I got to find some Wikipedia person on Fiverr and be like, can you go in there and like fix this for me?
Now, is Fiverr somewhere where you could find that? Like,
Yeah.
I guess I'm not familiar with it beyond
Probably.
voiceover stuff.
You can find anything on there.
Yes.
So Stefan and I did. So some people might know Block Party because Stefan and I do a bonus episode where we find like really bad cameos on Cameo.com.
Awesome.
Ooh, amazing.
And we've done a lot of different. We made Pauly Shorr do like an anti-circumcision ad for us, and just like various things like that of that nature. And so then we were thinking about doing another bonus episode type. So we did one where we were just trying to find like really fucked up Fivers, and then we also like paid for a few of them.
It was like too depressing.
And it was too depressing. We did one ever, and then we were like, you know what? We can't go back there. There's too much. Basically, this is a roundabout way of saying, yes, Robin, you can find just about anything on Fiverr, particularly if it's depressing, something along the lines of, could you get my Wikipedia page back for me?
Like depressing and pathetic, right? And desperate.
But also relatable.
Thank you, Robin.
I believe I sort of went through the same thing, and I think it came back like you're not relevant enough or something, and I was like, that's fine. You're right. I'm not. So I'm not going to fight it.
I was relevant. I was relevant for all those years. And then I think because I got fired from the Adam Carolla show, they're like, she's not relevant anymore. And it's like, since then, I've written a book. I've done like a whole bunch of podcasts. I've, I co-host Upworthy Weekly. That I feel should be relevant to them. They can suck my. Anyway,
Yes.
I was
so
joking,
much
by the way.
sucking going on.
I think you should get it back. I think you should.
I agree.
You deserve it.
Yeah.
So it needs someone who speaks the Wikipedia language. Like it needs a Wikipedia editor is a specific person. And you can find them on Fiverr. So wait, why was your Fiverr episode so depressing though, Canadians?
I feel like just a lot of the stuff we found on there was like there was a lot of John, what specifically was like the worst thing?
Well, yeah, I mean, I think you know what the worst thing is. I don't even think I want to say it on this podcast.
I think you do.
No,
Please.
we can't even. I'll tell you off air. I can't even say it. It's
Does it involve dark web stuff? Because my husband will
No, it
not tell
involves
me what goes on the dark
It's-
web.
No, it's going to make Stefan and I look bad, so I can't say it. But we will. The one thing we paid this guy. There was this guy who had this like guide to healthy living or whatever, and we paid him like I think it was what was it. $20 or $30 for this, like, and it was clearly, speaking of Wikipedia, just like a guy who had lifted like don't smoke information like from the internet. Like if you don't smoke, then it's good, then that's good. You shouldn't smoke. And that was like 4 pages of this. Like it was so poorly written, and you're just like, oh, there are people who must be paying for stuff like this on Fiverr who are like, oh, I need self-help. I'm trying to get my life together, whatever, stuff like that, where it was just. And then there's also, just a lot of stuff that is very vaguely, but not so vaguely sexual, where you're just sort of like, oh, people are definitely using this person to do something that like hits their fetish zone.
Yeah. Oh, I'm like a hot anime woman, and I'll talk about your feet or my feet. Whatever you want. I guess that's actually not. That's like over.
No, what they would do is they'd be like, oh, I'm like a young Asian woman who's into anime, but I'm also a foot doctor. And I could take a look at your feet for you for $75. That's the other thing you learn about Fiverr very quickly. Not a lot of things on there anymore are actually $5.
It's a misleading name. Yeah.
Interesting.
Oh, wow. I have a call to arms for the Allison Rosen listeners who I would like to say have been nothing but loving and warm and welcoming towards me. You have some really, really nice listeners that have started following me. And I think we have a dual call to our action, which is number one, we need to get the Wikipedia editor. And I know that amongst Allison's listeners, we can find that person. And number two, I need personally someone to advise me on an air dry hair product that would be good for my hair. And I only trust your listeners. I only trust your listeners to get me this information.
I think they can. I looked up Wikipedia editing on Fiverr just now, and there's nothing that comes up.
Oh, really?
But there are plenty of like web services and copywriting services and stuff like that. So I would imagine you could find someone in there, or like maybe someone who does search engine optimization or something that feels like it's sort of closely related. But
what about keywords? You could search like pedantic or like weirdo. Right?
Oh, yeah. Okay. I'm searching pedantic weirdo right now.
Okay.
Let's see.
But the bottom line is
no services for that either somehow.
I feel like pretty soon I'm going to be paying someone to like purge my Google search. When it's like when you're interviewing for a job, it's important what your Google search turns up. You need someone to like. I feel like I'm just going to be like cleansing my Google not search history, but my Google results or something. And pretty soon I'm going to go into witness protection and just start over. Someone else is going to have to raise my children.
I mean, that's not that bad though.
Yeah, it's no great loss, but
so Robin, I found this is retoucher_Chris. I will do hair retouching for beauty photography. Which is maybe there's no real sort of air dry thing on here, but I do believe what you could do is get Allison to send you this Zoom video. You send it to retoucher_Chris, and then they retouch your hair throughout the entire video so it looks perfect and not air dried. Because Chris says here, hair retouching is considered to be one of the hardest tasks to master for a retoucher because there is no shortcut to quality hair retouching.
I respectfully disagree with that, but I think that I'm looking for more of a product recommendation, you know?
I see. Okay, well, there are lots of those. Yeah, there's lots. Yeah,
But
there's
on
one
Fiverr?
right here. On Fiverr, yeah.
Like
this
guys
is-
making their own hair
Oh,
products?
God.
this is Dr. Wasif. I will do your beauty, skincare, and hair care content and this is copywriting. My apologies. Sorry,
Got it.
I thought it was
okay.
literally doing your beauty products for you. We've got a lot of. I will write blogs and articles about any hair-related topic. I will write an SEO-friendly article about natural hair for you. I will create 3D hair and fur for an NFT character.
Sure.
How much does that cost?
That starts at $97.58.
Ooh,
Jeez.
God.
that's high.
And that's only basic. Yeah, basic is very simple hairstyle with simple texture.
Yeah, but
Wow.
you'll make your money back on the NFT part of it. So.
Absolutely true. Yeah, the premium groom takes 7 days. Standard hairstyle and super textured quality. Before placing order, please discuss with me. And that costs $348.51. That's Canadian.
wow.
So that's
wow.
So it's a little better for us.
$279 American.
Okay, so we do a segment on this show called, and I invented this kind of thing, yes please or oh please. You know, you got you're hot or not, you're tired or wired. I'm telling you, I invented this. I did not invent this. And so I'm not looking for diplomacy. I'm not looking for pussyfooting. I'm looking for hot takes. People get canceled for this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And the
cancel.
listeners sent in a recommendation, and I'm hoping this is a snack food item, and I'm hoping that they have this in Canada. So I want to hear what you guys think. Is this a yes, please, or an oh, please?
Said, yes, please, give me some of that. Oh, please, that's much crap.
It's the honey bun. Are you familiar with the honey bun? Like the sticky bun, honey bun thing that you would get in like a vending machine. Does everyone know the product I'm talking about? I could pull up a photo.
I'm aware of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm barely aware of it.
Okay,
I'm going to be
let me-
honest.
Let me get a photo, Robin.
I don't
so
want
that-
any buns coming out of a vending machine. That sounds specious.
I mean, I don't think it has to be in a vending machine, but
No, it has to be. It absolutely has to be. You will be arrested if it's not.
this is, or it does have to be.
Let me see. I'm Googling it too.
Okay.
Sure. I mean,
Okay, so you see what I'm talking about.
I see what you're talking about. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Who's going to go first with their hot take?
I'll
John?
go.
Okay, Robin.
Oh, okay. No,
Robin,
I
no,
don't
you go.
want this. It's a no thanks. Was that the option?
No, I mean, people always mess it up, and that's part of the fun.
Yeah.
You would be an oh, please.
Oh, please, honey buns. I don't want your buns anywhere near me. And my nickname is Honey. It's not. I just don't. I'm very specific with my breakfast pastries, and I don't trust the look of these honey buns. I would rather have honey nut cereal instead. Leave the buns for hot dogs and hamburgers. Thank you.
Good, solid. You rest your case. Okay, John Cullen.
So refresh me here. So it's a bun that comes in a vending machine that tastes like it's a sticky bun.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh please, yeah, I'll have that. Why not? Yeah.
Isn't that's yes, please?
Oh, sorry. Yes,
Yeah,
please.
that's
Well,
right.
it's because I kind of thought it was like, oh please.
No, it's like oh, please.
Okay, yeah. Well,
Oh,
no, like I thought the good.
please.
No, but I thought the good thing was sort of like sexy, like oh please, But then like the bad thing was like oh please, you know what I mean? Anyway, sorry. Yes, please.
Yeah. Yes.
I'll have a bun. I'll have a sticky bun because I think to me, sticky buns are, and I agree. Like I would say, generally, I agree with Robin about breakfast pastries, but I think buns are the chicken fingers of breakfast pastries.
What?
So,
Wow.
What does that mean?
So what I mean to say is that like if you go to like a shitty sort of dive like bar / pub whatever, Tony probably knows this from touring, like if you end up in a place and you're sort of like, oh geez, the food here could be suspect, chicken fingers is almost always a safe order. because it's just like frozen. They're probably not going to taste offensive. You're getting something where you're not going to get food poisoning, and it will probably taste okay. And that is sort of how I would feel about the sort of cinnamon bun / honey bun type breakfast pastry. Like, I feel like it's pretty hard to mess that up. Like a scone, that is like the opposite end of that.
Right.
It's so easy to have a bad scone.
Yes.
But like a honey bun, sure, I'll take it out of a vending machine. I'll take it wherever you got it. No problem. I'm sure it tastes just fine.
Wow.
Stefan?
I'm going to say yes, please. I've never had one before. I've heard good things about them. The main reason I'm saying yes, please, is because there was a tweet like 8 years ago, and it was a guy posting about his cousin, and he was like, please pray for my cousin. There's nothing wrong with him. He just looks like a honey bun.
Here's a picture of one if you guys can see that.
Looks good.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd eat that for sure.
I'll post the tweet in the chat here because you guys need to see the little kid who does look exactly like a honey bun.
All right. Pulling up child who looks like a honey bun.
I mean,
I'm not going to get arrested for opening this.
No, he does look like
Yeah, so that's sort of like the some knowledge of that. That's like all I know about honey buns, but I love that post. So based on that, I'm going to say yes.
Oh, Mohammed's so cute.
He really does look like a honey bun.
He is a honey bun.
He is a honey bun.
Okay, Tony, what do you think?
Well, first of all,
Snapchat.
Thank you.
you're welcome. I'm gonna just give this a please, just because I'm not necessarily against them, but I got to take a side here, and I've gone 44 years without ever having one, and yet thank you for the birthday wishes.
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday.
September 6th, right?
It happened while I was gone. Yeah.
And also,
That was
I just want
sarcasm.
everyone to, I know, but I want everyone to know, let the record show, I was that person who got my I slid it in the night before.
Smart.
And I said,
After what time,
happy
though? After
Easter.
10?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Uh-oh.
I did, and then it went boing, 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 boing. Yeah, I did I said happy East Coast birthday.
Oh.
Yeah, but I was in the Midwest.
I know, and that sucked for me.
Yeah. You
Yeah,
felt like
but
a damn fool, didn't you?
I really felt bad about it.
I'm going to say
Yeah.
something crazy, and this is going to be a demonstration of my savant-like memory, which we haven't really discussed on the show. We can get to it at some point, but
I would like to.
I did this
Hope I don't forget.
podcast last Labor Day weekend, last year, so 2021, the Monday of Labor Day. It was Tony's birthday, and he didn't reveal that until like 45 minutes into the show.
And when I introduced him,
Yes, it was exactly. It was, but it was very Molly. You had a little bit of a Molly Ringwald vibe, but you were putting it on. I know you didn't mean it.
well,
yeah,
happy
that time
birthday,
it was a
Tony.
test to see if Allison remembered.
Right,
you.
right.
I-
You were
it sounds like
testing
I
her.
Sounds like I did not. So anyway, you're saying, oh, please.
Yeah, I've just never had one, so I've gone this long. Sure, I can keep them out of my life.
And wait, you just turned 44?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Well, I thought you were a little bit older, and I don't mean that like you seem older at all.
Sure.
It's so dicey. It's so dicey nowadays. No matter what you say, they're always out to get you. No, I just mean, I don't mean you seem older. I just, in my head, I thought, because I'm older and I think of us as roughly the same age, and I'm 105. So anyway, here's the thing. I have got to give this honey bun an please, because you get it out of the vending machine and then you try to open it and it's stuck. Well, first of all, I wouldn't order it from a vending machine, but it's going to be stuck to the cellophane packaging, and it's just a whole sticky mess. And I could just imagine there's for some reason, there's some circumstance where it's fallen into my life, and I'm like, sure, this is not the kind of thing I would normally eat, but what the hell? And then I'm trying to eat it, and it's like getting stickiness everywhere, and it's just a pain in the ass. And it actually does taste kind of, tastes kind of good, but it's too sticky. It's too messy. I regret it. Then maybe if I'm home, I'm like getting a spoon and trying to dig it out, and it's just filled with shame. So, honey bun, oh, please.
No, thank you.
So
That's right.
The only yes pleases were from the two people who have never tried a honey bun before.
That's right. Okay. That's
Yeah,
right.
that's probably might be telling us something, Stefan.
And also, speaking of Canadian snacks, I recently learned a little bit. We have a Canadian nanny, and I recently learned a bit about Canadian snacks. Get this, fellow Americans. Did you know that in Canada, their cream soda is pink? Is this true?
Yes.
Yeah.
This is wild to me.
Yeah, why is it pink?
Why not?
You're right.
Because
Cool.
it's
right.
golden
Asked
here.
and answered.
You know that it's not
well-
pink here, right?
Yeah, it's got that. It kind of like sort of a similar tinge to like ginger ale.
Yes.
It's got that kind of
Yeah.
We have that up here too. Like because because you can get like Virgil's cream soda. I feel like that's an American thing too, or Stewart's where they'll have that kind of color.
Right.
But yeah, like a Crush, which is a Canadian soda brand.
Oh.
Theirs is sort of it used to come in a pink can and it
Right.
had like pink food coloring and it was a pink drink. Yeah. So I'd say, yeah, growing up, we think of it as pink.
I don't.
Stefan,
Yeah,
I guess
that's like the main cream soda up here. Crush had there was Orange Crush, Grape Crush, and then the cream soda variant. And I feel like there was maybe one more as well. But
well, they also doesn't Crush make Tahiti Treat, or they did?
oh, maybe they did. That
That's
could be
a
right.
That's
Yeah.
a delicious beverage.
And we still have Five Alive up here. I know people are curious about.
Oh, I had that when I was a kid, and it was delicious.
It's really good. Yeah.
Yeah,
And then also Smarties. Different there than here.
Yes.
Yeah, what you think of as Smarties, we call Rockets.
Yeah.
And then we
like
have
the
our
chalky
own,
candy in the
Yeah.
little plastic
Yeah.
tube. Yeah.
Yeah, that's Rockets to us, and then Smarties for us are like similar to an M&M.
But much worse.
Ah, right.
Oh, I think Smarties are as good as M&Ms.
There's
I
no
like
way.
Smarties a lot.
No.
Smarties
absolutely
were often at the off-brand frozen yogurt place by my house. Smarties were often offered over M&Ms, and it was always a bummer. I would always check, and it was always Smarties.
not. They're not as good because they're just
They're
like
not as good.
a chocolate disc sort of. M&M has all the different flavors and fillings, and Smarties it's just Smarties.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. M&M peanuts are still king of the hill, but I'm just talking like plain M&Ms and Smarties. I feel like they both have their place.
Okay.
Agree to disagree.
Bold stances all around.
Robin, what is the off-brand place, or will that reveal your geolocation?
No. I live in Los Feliz, but the off-brand place is in Woodland Hills on the corner of Shoup and Ventura. It's called Yogurt Delight. If any of Allison's listeners are in Woodland Hills, go see if there's Smarties there or M&Ms. But I will say the actual yogurt there was great. The toppings were terrible, but they always had, so there was also a rival yogurt place called Calabasas Yogurt in Video. Half of it was yogurt. The other half was a video store. And they had terrible yogurt, but great toppings, including Scrapple, a topping I can no longer find in any frozen yogurt place. Scrapple was just like cookies and rice just like glommed together and thrown on your yogurt.
I've seen Scrapple, and it's weird because Scrapple also is like pork renderings.
Yeah,
and
that's
stout,
Sure.
right?
Of course it is. It can't be anything good.
I know the yogurt Scrapple you mean.
Yeah. So Yogurt Delight on Ventura and Shoup. If you're there, get a Dan Super Sub before you head over to the yogurt place, because that place is way better for subs, and then treat
Now-
yourself to a yogurt.
Robin, did you ever go like full psycho and get the yogurt from the good yogurt place?
Solid
and
question.
Get the good toppings from the good topping place.
That is such a good idea. I don't think I was that expansive in my thought process back then when I lived in
Sure.
Woodland Hills, but
You weren't high enough.
No, but that said, but that would have been a really good idea. Again, Yogurt Delight, you got great yogurt, you got terrible toppings, but they're still there. Same logo, same mini mall. I'm very loyal.
So let's do a fun fact, because I love the drop and I love the facts. Stefan, tell me a John Cullen, your curling. I must toss in the fact that do you still curl? I guess now I'm just asking you a fun fact about you, and it's
Sure.
specifically about curling. So look who's taking this
That
over.
was my fun fact about him. Was that
Was
he
it really?
a professional curler? Yeah. So
Okay.
it works out anyway.
Perfect then. Who's going to tell me about it?
Well, you can't really be professional because there's not enough money involved in it. But yeah, like
You were ranked like top 25 in the world, right?
yeah, at one time we were like, we were pretty consistently between like 25 and 40 in the world.
Whoa!
Yeah, it's I thought that was Robin for a second. It took
You don't
me a
know
minute.
it wasn't.
That's also
Can
a
you
good
do
point.
that, Robin?
Whoa.
Okay, yeah, that was pretty close.
You're gonna make a killing on Fiverr.
Yeah, you're gonna destroy
I'm going to make
Robin.
so many $5 bills.
Yeah, they're gonna make your voiceover agent look like a punk.
Yeah.
You're gonna just be rolling in the dough. So I've curled from the time I started when I was 12, and then just kept doing it. But to answer your question, no, I do not still curl. However, I am a curling commentator. So that's actually I was away this weekend commentating on an event in Okotoks, Alberta, which is a town that's about 30 minutes south of Calgary.
How cool.
I have some questions.
Sure.
Let's hear the drop first, though, Tony.
Those were fun facts.
Yeah, that was the wrong one.
Wrong one.
Those were fun facts.
Okay.
We pretend that
This
didn't
is
happen.
very good.
Okay.
I'm a mimic.
Fun fact.
Okay.
Well, that's good.
Just last night, I had a conversation with Daniel, and I said, isn't it weird that they say commentate instead of comment? Like he's going to commentate on it instead of comment on it. Why do they do that? And then Daniel's my husband. And then Daniel said, but to commentate is actually something different than to comment. And I was like, oh, wait a minute. Actually, a commentator is a thing versus like comment is just in the comment section. And then I thought, is commentate its own word? John, do you know the answer? I could have looked it up. I was intending to, but I forgot.
Yes. Commentate is its own word.
Because I feel like commentating is like an ongoing thing, right? It's like an action that's like, whereas a comment is like a one-off. Is that right, John?
Yes. Yeah, I would say that's true. Yeah. So commentating is you are speaking about something as it's happening, whereas commenting can be at any time, right? Like I can comment on the frozen yogurt place that Robin was talking about. It doesn't mean I went there right this second. But yeah, I think...
Whereas if you're commentating, you have a mouthful of yogurt while you're doing
correct. I'm like, oh, Robin was right. That's my impression of me with my mouth full for some reason. But yeah, Robin was right. This yogurt is good, but the toppings are shit.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Got it. And then I'm going to reveal but I feel like a lot of people don't know that much about curling. We all know that
in
you
America especially. Yeah.
We all know that you do the thing where you like swirl the ice. That one gesture.
Sweep. It's sweeping, right?
Yes.
We know that
Sweeping,
gesture. But
Yes.
what else do you do? What are the other basic curling gestures?
Well, you throw the rock and you sweep. Those are the two main gestures. We don't call them gestures, but those are, that's the two.
What do you
the
call
two main
them?
things? I would say the common misconception about curling is that some people only sweep and some people only throw. So that's not true. So everybody does both.
Okay.
So yeah.
Does the sweeping affect the speed at which the rock goes?
Correct. Yes. So this is, and I remember blowing Stefan's mind with this the first time I told him about it. But basically, curling ice is not flat. So like if you're skating on if you're skating on hockey ice, right, it is flat.
Right.
So it's just basically frozen water. And so curling ice is that ice to start, and then they put a chemical like a saline compound on top of it called pebble, because if you look at the curling ice from the side, it looks like there's a bunch of pebbles on top of it, like it almost looks ridged. And so that's why when a curling rock goes down the ice, it makes a noise, because it's like theoretically going over all of these micro gaps in between the pebble. And so what sweeping does is it actually melts the pebble, so it reduces the friction between the rock and the ice. So it allows the rock to go further, and then by virtue of the rock going further, it also curls less. So when you're sweeping, you're either trying to make it go faster or you're trying to make it not curl as much.
Wow.
Fascinating.
You're
and I
very
didn't-
good at explaining
Yes.
that.
You should commentate.
And
you
yes,
do.
and I do. Yeah,
And is
yeah.
curling still an Olympic event, or did they stop? Okay. I thought
No,
it was,
it's-
but for
it's a
some
big-
reason, like I feel like they messed with some Olympic events and made new ones and took out old
Curling
ones.
is surprisingly one of the most popular Winter Olympic events. And as a matter of fact, I don't know if they have the stats for Tokyo yet, but in 2018, curling was the most talked about Olympic event on Twitter every single day of the Olympics, aside from the day of the women's gold medal hockey game.
Wow.
Wow.
You know, between curling and wrestling, this podcast is teaching me so much.
I know. And get this, Robin. Robin, you were on the podcast where we talked at length to Colt Cabana about his chair, right?
Yes. His
Guys,
gaming chair.
Okay, again, patreon.com/AllisonRosen. Could you both lean over so we can look at your chairs? Check it. I mean, look, yeah.
Oh,
Robin and
guys.
I got an extensive education in gaming and by the way, Colt Cabana has been in the news so much
He
for
has?
anyone who's everyone's
For
not
what?
yes.
Yes.
Oh, there's like a whole
Robin,
a whole
how much time do you have?
I'm gonna Google.
It's kind of
It's a whole
it's
sad-
indirectly.
yeah,
He didn't really
it's-
do anything.
he didn't do
but he's-
anything, but this other wrestling guy like said a whole bunch of shit about him and
Oh,
it's a whole thing.
He's
yeah.
such a sweetie.
It's just a whole I know
he's
he is
a real
sweetie,
true sweetie.
but we love him. But anyway, he has a gaming chair, and Robin and I were really asking him a ton of questions. And then I went on Block Party, and then they have gaming chairs, and I was like, "What's up with all the gaming chairs?" And I was asking them, and they both dissuaded me. But I was more asking for Daniel because he needs a new chair. They're not down with the gaming chairs. They would like to replace them.
I don't mind mine as much.
Yeah.
The ones that we have in the studio, which is where John is right now, are like a fake leather material, so they get really hot and sticky.
Like a honey bun.
Yeah. And sort of the honey bun of gamer chairs.
Yeah.
But they're not great. This one is fine, but I've had this for like 4 years, I think, at this point, 3 or 4 years, and it's getting to be time. Well, also my cat has sort of like shredded it a little bit too. So
The cat that we're seeing over your shoulder.
Yeah, that's Kiki. Yeah.
Aw. Kiki, is Kiki short for Kirsten? Like Dunst?
No,
Stefan's a huge fan of Spider-Man. Only the upside down kissing scene. He
Yeah.
watches it a lot.
I think it's just Kiki, but I guess it could be short for something. So maybe I'll think something up.
Doesn't
Yeah.
have to be. All right, now John, could you tell me a
Yes.
fun fact about Stefan?
Sure. I mean, I could tell you many fun facts about Stefan, but I think my favorite overall fact about Stefan is that when he was a baby, he had the largest head you've ever seen a baby have.
Aw. How did you know Stefan when he was a baby, or did you see pictures?
Oh, I saw pictures here. I'll pull one up for you.
Oh,
on
okay.
Instagram
For a
because
second, I thought you might have been his father.
Oh, that's so cute. I love that interpretation of it.
I mean, in some ways,
Kind
I am
of, yeah.
Stefan's
He's the
dad
of the podcast. Like he does all of the actual like work for the podcast. So
when
I-
Stefan was a baby.
Here's a good. Oh,
I know what the picture
This is a picture of your mom in it. So let me. I'll find the other one.
There's
that
one
has
of me with my baby cousin who's like 4 months younger than me, or 3 months younger than me, and I look like a different species.
Yeah, it's insane. I got it. Do you have it on your Instagram, Stefan, or should I go to your dad's? I feel like
It's
you had
probably
it
on
up there
my-
at one
yeah.
point.
God damn it.
But you didn't. There's only one on there, but there's a pic of your mom in it. So let me go look and see. Okay,
Okay.
I'll see. Sure, your dad's.
yeah.
posted it.
The thing is, like, I have a big head now still, but it was like the same size when I was a baby. But I was also like a big baby too, and now I'm like small-ish. I guess I'm like 5'9", and like not as big as I think. Maybe when I was a baby, people thought I was going to be like 6'7", 300 pound, like sumo wrestler. Yeah, that's not the fun fact I thought you were going to say, John.
What fun fact did you think I was going to say?
I thought it was going to be about the time I accidentally shut down the Jeremy Renner app.
Oh, that is a good. I mean, that is also a great. Okay, I'm going to try to block out because I can't find the one I'm thinking of, but
Okay.
I'll try to block out your mom's face while
Okay.
I show this on that.
Aww.
I mean, you look like you have large arms. Like you just. Yes, this is quite a baby.
Yes.
A lot of baby happening
I was
there.
a very hefty baby. Yeah.
That's cute.
I
So
want to
cute.
see if while you guys are still talking about the Jeremy Renner app because that is also very good.
Yeah,
I'm
I don't
gonna see
even.
if
I need
can
to know more
find
about
the-
that.
Jeremy Renner has an app?
Yeah.
He had an app.
Oh,
He had
oh,
like
I
a
fou- I f-
vanity. Did you
I
find
found.
it?
Well, no, but I found some more.
I love you have all these
Oh
baby
my god!
pictures.
How cute.
So cute.
Oh.
He had like a vanity app that was essentially like Instagram, but only like he could post on it and people could comment on it and they could pay money to get the top comment on his posts. And what a friend and myself discovered, that friend is Jesse Farrar. I do want to credit him for also taking down the Jeremy Renner app purely by accident. I I commented on a Jeremy Renner. I think there's a Wikipedia article that summarizes.
Fiverr.
Here we go. Oh
Oh,
boy.
God. That got it. That got an article.
Yeah,
the
I guess
Jeremy
that's
Renner.
notable. I guess it counts. Okay.
So it is on there. But essentially, what happened is, I commented. He had a post that was like, "What's everyone going to be doing this weekend?" And I commented, "I was going to be looking at porno." And I was like, "Well, it's like a funny thing to do, I guess, on the app. Like nothing's going to happen." And then what Jesse did is he made an account, named it Jeremy Renner as the display name, which you were allowed to do on the app for some reason, and then replied to me. And what it turns out, he replied to me and said, "That's nasty, not cool." And I got a push notification where and this is just a push, like all the push notifications looked like this apparently. It just looked like Jeremy Renner was like replying to you.
That's so
So
funny.
I took a screen grab of it, I tweeted it out, and then I went camping for a weekend. And when I came back, it was just like a total shit show. Like people were on Jeremy Renner's app pretending to be like Casey Anthony.
Oh, no.
And yeah, I think within about a week, the app was taken down. He did like the classic like notes app apology or whatever, and was like, "I never intended it to be used this way. I just intended to scam my fans." He didn't say that in the apology, but
There's a whole podcast. They made a whole podcast about it. Our friends Caroline Goldfarb and Sarah Ramos made a
I know
6
Caroline.
episode.
Yeah.
They made like a 6-episode true crime spoof called The Renner Files. where
That's
it talks about
hilarious.
I
the
was on one of
formation,
the
and
episodes.
Stefan guested on one of the
discussing,
episodes. It
How
was great.
cool. But
Yeah.
wait, I'm sorry. I'm missing why they came after him though, because even the fake Jeremy, it doesn't like, what did he do? What am I missing? Like, what did he do wrong? Because all he did was act like a prude.
Oh, well, that was so that was Jesse pretending to.
Right.
I think it was just people realizing like, oh, there's like no like safeguards whatsoever.
No
on this
oversight.
app.
I see.
So you could just like one of the safeguards on. You would think if you were making a Jeremy Renner personalized app, one of the first things you would do would be to make it so you cannot name yourself Jeremy Renner.
I see.
And pretend to be Jeremy Renner on the official Jeremy Renner app.
Right.
But like dozens of people were doing that, and then the actual fans who were on there, who again were like paying money to get the top comments on his posts, which
my
was so
gosh.
insane.
Yeah.
They were getting like really upset with all the fake posts and everything.
I
and
see.
then, he ended up shutting it down. So yeah,
Does
and I had a big
anybody-
head as a baby too. So.
I wish I should have favorited that photo like the last time your dad posted it, because I'm sure I have it screen capped in my photos somewhere, but I've never set it as one of my favorite photos. So the chances of me finding it are just
we can send it to Allison maybe.
yeah. If we
after the recording.
yeah, that'd be great.
Does anybody remember, I believe the year was 2001 or 2002, but there was a show, it was on A&E, and it was called The It Factor, and it was following like 10 different out-of-work actors as they auditioned and tried to be actors in LA, which is what I was doing at the time. So I watched the show every week. And Jeremy Renner was one of those
That's
actors.
one of the 10,
Oh, wow.
Yes.
And he would play this thing called mailbox bingo or residual bingo and like wait and see if like residuals came. And he was just like this dude who was just an auditioner. And I haven't seen I don't even know what a Jeremy Renner movie is, but I have to say I'm proud of him from afar. I feel like I've been following him for so long. I'm not invested at all, but I'm proud of him.
He's like one of those guys who just plays himself in every movie. He's kind of just like, hey. Like he's in plays Hawkeye in all the Avenger movies.
Oh, right. He's
Was
the
he in
Hawkeye.
the Hurt Locker? Was that?
Yes,
He was in the
that
Hurt
was
Locker.
his big
Yeah.
movie. That was the big break.
He was in Tag.
yeah.
Sure, your favorite movie.
And he broke his arms, and they had to like digitally make it look like his arms weren't broken for most of the movie or something.
Both of them?
I think so.
That sucks.
Who else was in the It Factor? I'm trying to think if I saw this.
There was, oh my God,
Anyone
it's
else
so
notable?
embarrassing. There's a
I'm
woman who's
looking it up
on
for
Big
you.
Sky, the show Big Sky. Her name was Catherine Winnick. She was on it. and then
Egan.
Daisy Egan, who was a Broadway actress and then wanted to transition. And then there was this actress whose name is Michaela, and she's on Bones. And I can't remember her last name, but she's the nicest person in the world.
Her name is Michaela Conlon.
Michaela Conlon.
Oh,
she was on
yeah.
Bones, and I've met her a bunch, and she's wonderful. And I always want to be like, I saw you on Hit Factor, but she would, I don't know, she'd probably have me arrested. It's such a deep cut.
There's Godfrey, who I know
Yes,
from
Godfrey.
Oh, yeah.
He got a
on
big
it.
7-Up campaign during that. Yes.
Yeah, Kelly Ray O'Donnell.
Don't remember her.
MC Light. Who I guess
Okay.
is like a rapper.
Oh yeah,
now.
MC Light. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Lisa
there's, like,
Ray. Lisa Ray was on it. She became kind of big.
Lisa Ray McCoy.
Lisa Ray McCoy. And then there was a brother and sister who were trying to audition together, and it also seemed like they were in love. Again, if you're one of Allison's wonderful followers and you know what I'm talking about, let's discuss it on Instagram. There were a brother and a sister, and they seemed like they were more in love than brother and sister.
Okay. It doesn't say on here. It doesn't look like any of the people on here have the same last name, so I can't. quite figure
Okay,
out who would be
I'm
the
going to
brother
figure
and
this
sister.
out. But yes.
While you do that, I want to tell you guys about Masterclass. I don't know if you're familiar with Masterclass. I love Masterclass. Whenever I go on to masterclass.com, I see so many different classes that I decide that I want to take because they have so many. They have 11 categories. They have 150 plus instructors. I think I've talked to you guys before about taking the Judy Blume writing class. I am a huge Judy Blume fan. It's so whenever I go on to masterclass.com, I see so many that pique my curiosity and pique my interest. They have so many luminaries. There's screenwriting, filmmaking, cooking, so many things that I want to learn about from just these amazing people. There's, Steve Martin teaches you comedy. That's another one that I'm like, I definitely want to take that one. Martin Scorsese. There's so many ones that I want to watch and learn. But I finally decided on Judy Blume, and I was watching it, and it just really spoke to me because there was a moment, she's talking about this moment where she got some feedback that was critical. And she took she was gonna, and now I can't remember if it was literal or figurative. I think like literally she was gonna take her typewriter and throw it off a mountain. She was just gonna be done. And she, for some reason, didn't. But that's how much it affected her. And I think about that often. Just a moment that I took from that. But yeah, with Masterclass, you can learn from the world's best minds anytime, anywhere, and at your own pace. You can learn how to write from Judy Blume, improve your skills, learn from, like I said, Steve Martin, with over 150 classes from a range of world-class instructors. That thing you've always wanted to do is closer than you think. I highly recommend you check it out. Get unlimited access to every class. And as an Allison Rosen is your new best friend, as an Allison Rosen is your new best friend listener, you get 15% off an annual membership. Go to masterclass.com/bestfriend now. That's masterclass.com/bestfriend for 15% off Masterclass. Again, that is masterclass.com/bestfriend for 15% off Masterclass. And then I also want to tell you guys about modern fertility. I've always been a big fan of planning ahead, scheduling trips months in advance, plotting out my next career move, figuring out what I'm doing for dinner while I'm still eating breakfast. But I never thought much about planning for kids. Actually, I myself just figured if I put too much work into thinking about, I didn't want to put that much pressure on myself. And in retrospect, that was like, for me, the wrong call. I figured it's just going to work out when the time is right. And then it turned out that it was a whole thing. I have followed my whole IVF journey with kids and stuff. And it was just, I really should have put more time and effort into it when I was younger. Anyway, this is not about that. This is about the fact that I wish modern fertility had been around when Daniel and I were starting our fertility journey and we're going to the fertility clinic and doing all of that, because it would have made it so much simpler to be able to be doing all these things from home. So Modern Fertility is an easy and affordable way to test your fertility hormones at home with a simple finger prick. Mail it in with a prepaid label and you get your personalized results within 10 days. You'll get insight into your hormone levels, your ovarian reserve, aka how many eggs you have compared to other women your age, and other important fertility factors. The results go deep into what every hormone means, and you can also download the results to review with your doctor for next steps. Traditional testing can cost over $1,000, but Modern Fertility gets you the same info at a fraction of the price. And if you go to modernfertility.com/AllisonRosen, you can get $20 off your test. Also, if you have an HSA or FSA, you can put those dollars toward Modern Fertility. If you want kids today or maybe one day in the future, clinically sound info about your body can help you make the decision that's right for you. Right now, Modern Fertility is offering our listeners $20 off the test when you go to modernfertility.com/AllisonRosen. That means your test will cost $179 instead of the hundreds or thousands it could cost at a doctor's office. Get $20 off your fertility test when you go to modernfertility.com/AllisonRosen. modernfertility.com/AllisonRosen. And we are back. I think it is probably time to do a couple just me or everyone's.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes I ponder on something I have thought or done. Is it just me or everyone?
All right. Does anyone have a just me or everyone they would like to get feedback on?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, John, go ahead.
No, you go.
Does anyone else? Is it just me, or does anyone else? If you're eating a kiwi, do you bite into the kiwi or do you peel the kiwi? Because I bite into the kiwi
With
like
the
it's just
skin
like
on?
an apple. Yeah.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Okay,
fuck.
I don't do that. But I've heard of other people who do that.
Yes, I wouldn't say
Okay.
it's like it's not insane to me. I would say it's
think it
similar to
is.
Allison. Well, here's what I should say. I don't think you're the only person who does that. In fact, I think there's lots of people who do that. But I do agree with Allison that I think everybody who does it is psycho.
But do you eat the skin?
Whoa.
Ha-
Isn't it
ha.
furry?
How is it?
It's fine. It
tastes
okay.
good to you.
I think for me, it's just it's a matter of convenience. I'd rather because you have to take 10 seconds slicing up the kiwi or whatever.
But
I
do you
can just bite it.
enjoy eating a kiwi?
No, I hardly ever eat kiwis.
Is it because they're disgusting to you?
I
'Cause
like
you-
no. Well, I feel like they go bad really quick. Maybe so. I feel like if I get a thing of kiwis, maybe I'm just getting them in the kiwi off season or something. But I feel like they just go bad very quickly.
Yeah.
Compared to most other fruits. So maybe that's. But when I do eat them, I bite into them.
Maybe I'll try that. I mean, I don't know. I've never really eaten kiwi skin.
It's a
'Cause
satisfying bite, right? Because the kiwi is very juicy, right? So it is a satisfying bite.
I just imagine the rind as being inedible.
It's edible, I think. I mean, there's the end of the kiwi is not because it has the little hard
The
nub
butt,
or whatever.
yeah.
So you avoid that part, but you can eat the rest of it.
This is shocking. This is
But
shocking.
you don't
to
have to
me.
eat the whole skin. You can kind of eat a hole into the skin and then slurp all the kiwi out of it too, which is maybe even more psychotic. And I probably shouldn't have said that, but
Well, it's just
I
when
mean,
you
now
start
this is
using
some-
the word slurp. I
Yeah,
think.
that's what I
Yeah.
was
It's
gonna
like
That's maybe what did
it's
it.
like a Donald Duck situation now.
Yeah, I'm not a kiwi. I'm not a kiwi person.
Yeah, me neither.
I think it's I think if you're gonna eat a kiwi, I guess you're faced with this dilemma, but you're already halfway to being unique. You might as well just bite into it. You know?
My kids like kiwis a lot, and it is a lot of work for a little amount of fruit. And I will agree with Stefan that and by the way, I'm sorry, but my mouth wants to say Stefan every single time.
that's okay.
Is
I
that-
get that a lot.
I bet
Yeah.
you do, yeah. And they do, all of a sudden, this is kind of like the avocado situation that was a constant thread on my show in the Greg Heller days. All of a sudden you have 4 kiwis that are all going bad.
4
They're all unripe.
avocados.
Yeah, they're all not ripe, or then they're all too mushy. Yeah. Where are you with a golden kiwi? Those are pretty good.
I like a golden kiwi, and those are better because they're a bit bigger. So
And they're less furry.
yeah, so that's. I mean, I'll still bite into those, but I'm more likely to slice up a golden kiwi because they're bigger. I think the regular kiwi, like you said, it's so small.
Yeah.
It seems like such a waste of like slicing it up. Like,
Have you had people go, "What the hell are you doing?" when you bite into it like that?
yes,
Oh. Huh.
All right.
which is why I was asking.
Yeah.
If it was a normal thing to do, and I guess it isn't. But
I don't. Does your whole family do this?
no, I think it's just me. I mean, I'll have to ask. I don't really. I don't know of my parents' like kiwi eating habits off the top of my head. But
Oh, you should definitely
Yeah.
get a chance to connect.
I'll look
Yeah.
into it. I'll ask them. Yeah.
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 Tony, famous banana hater, where do you come down on kiwi?
I'm like Robin. I don't. Not a fan. I couldn't even think of a time I've eaten one. Honestly,
He
Have
does
you
not
ever had
engage.
one?
I'm not even positive. So yeah, I say not a fan, but I'm actually not totally sure if I've actually had one or not.
Get
It's
out.
not an appealing
No.
prospect. No,
Yeah,
there's
it's not something
nothing
you
saying.
like. It
Come
doesn't.
on, it's got the white center. That's kind of fun.
Yeah, that sounds fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's better in a fruit salad, I think. It's a better like
Sure.
supporting
Yeah, it's a good fruit salad ingredient. Yeah. I just can't believe everybody on this podcast is so brazen about hating people from New Zealand.
I know.
I just think it's
You're
so
right.
crazy rude from
You're right.
Tony and Robin. I think they're all wonderful. They don't pronounce words correctly. It's great.
Think about how much we love Melanie Linsky, the actress.
Yes.
She's a Kiwi.
Yes.
I didn't even realize she had a New Zealand accent.
Yes, she's a very big New Zealand accent.
I didn't realize.
Sorry.
No,
That's a little
so
Fiverr
good.
right there. We're just getting a little preview.
Whoa, I just made $5.
Yeah.
I didn't
bingo.
realize it at all.
Yeah, she's a genius.
2 shows are coming back on October 17th that I'm so excited about, except that I forget what one of them is. White Lotus, I believe, is October
yeah.
17th. What's the other one? I was like, oh my God, that's coming back. I'm so excited. I can't wait. Now I've forgotten. Does anyone know? Something is coming back that I'm excited for.
I don't know. I'll look it up
It's
for you.
season 2 of a show.
I think so.
Well, it's not Yellow Jackets because they're filming now.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. But no, I was like, oh, I
Like,
can't.
I'm looking it up on geekyhobbies.com. For
Okay.
some reason, that was the first thing you said, October 17th.
Yeah.
Like you're sure of that date?
Yes.
Okay, here we go. October 17th, we've got
Succession.
Oh, really?
Wait.
No.
Kids
No,
Baking
sorry.
Championship, Trick or Eat.
No.
The Vow, season 2.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
The Vow.
Yes, that's what it is.
Yes, that's coming. That's October 17th.
Yes.
They're making another
My mouth is
season.
watering.
I
That's
know.
in less than a month.
I
Oh,
know.
boy.
I got to get
Wow.
Sarah Edmondson on the show and Nippy.
Oh, she'll do it.
Yeah.
Sarah and Nippy will totally
yeah,
do it.
I need to email her, but we talked on Instagram. She's going to come on. Are
yeah,
you guys
and then you need
familiar
to
with-
get Mark DeVincentis or whatever that guy is. Mark
Yes.
Sorry.
Yeah. Are you guys familiar with The Vow? Are you aware of? Do you know what we're talking about?
I consumed The Vow as well as the better one.
Yes,
The girl that
with
the girl.
India
Yes.
Oxenberg.
India
Yes,
Oxenberg.
that's her name.
Yeah.
Couldn't remember her name. I knew she was like the princess's daughter or whatever.
Mhm.
Yeah, I watched that one. That one was way better than The Vow, where
It
the
was.
guy who's the main guy of The Vow, you can tell right from the start is a psycho, and it
Yes.
was weird that it took everybody like a month to be like, oh, maybe this guy's not the most reliable narrator. I was like, what show were you watching the whole time?
Wait, are you
Yeah.
talking
They're
about
nuts.
Mark
I'm not-
Vicente or
Whatever
his
the
name
guy,
is?
yeah,
Or
No,
Keith
the guy
Raniere?
with the gray hair
He's
and
talking
the
about
glasses.
Keith. And
Oh,
the-
No,
yeah.
no, I'm not talking.
You're
about
talking
Keith.
about
I'm
Mark.
talking about the guy who made The Vow.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
Mark
the filmmaker.
Yes.
Vicente, I
Yes.
think. Yeah.
Mark
Okay,
Vicente.
sure. I have
He's
tried my best
such
to
a
put-
tool.
Yeah, that's okay. Thank
He's
you.
such a
Yes.
tool. And
Exactly.
forgive me for using a 90s bullying word, but
No,
Do you think
that's
he's
good.
a real lamewad?
I do.
Classic
What a-
Uber?
Time. Big
He's-
dickweed.
He's a dickweed.
Yeah.
And that guy, don't get me started on Mark Vicentes. We need to
Okay.
do a whole side podcast about him.
Yeah.
I had literally put his name out of my mind, but yes, it was just like it was so funny to me that it seemed like to take people a long time to figure out that he was probably maybe not a great guy. But Sarah and Nippy seem cool. I know they've been on podcasts that I'm familiar with, and they're from Vancouver.
Yeah.
A lot of the Nixium people are from
Right,
Vancouver. This is like
right.
one of the hubs here, so it's
Yeah.
a weird. A comedian friend of mine as well was like they tried to recruit him, and he went to like a meeting.
Oh, really?
and Yeah,
What did he say about it?
When The Vow came out, he had a post on social media about it, and he was just like, yeah, I went to one meeting and I was like, oh yeah, this is a cult. What is everybody? Yeah, all right, I'm out. Like, yeah. So anyway.
Interesting. Because they say that we all have this fantasy that we wouldn't be susceptible to cults. However, anyone could be sucked up in a cult. But maybe that's not so true. I don't think it really is.
I think it depends on the cult, right? Like, I think there's probably some where it feels like right away you're like, oh, this is kind of culty and I'm not into this. But then there's probably other ones that just sort of feel more directly targeted at your sort of vulnerabilities that might, you know, that might get you. Like, yeah, do I think I would have been sucked into like Heaven's Gate? Where it was like, oh, you know, the spaceship's coming from behind the asteroid and we're all going to cut our hair stupid and wear matching suits. Like, no, I don't believe I would have been sucked into that.
I would have because of the Nikes, honestly.
Yeah.
Those are so sick.
Listen, and they had a uniform and that makes life a little easier. You don't have to think about it.
Did they remove their genitals as well?
No.
Were they talking about it?
I think a few of them did.
I feel like the head
I remember
guy.
watching the
Didn't
documentary
the head guy
last
do it?
year. Yeah, I think some people castrated themselves.
I'm
That's
sorry.
the word.
I may have spoken too soon. I think the head guy did.
I think the head guy
castrate
did.
I think he did.
Yeah.
I remember just the one guy who they kept interviewing, one of the survivors who left, and the reason he left is I think he couldn't stop like jacking off.
Oh, cool.
But then he kept he kept saying like, oh, I missed out on it. Like I wish I could go, and it's like,
Go where?
you know, it's not real, right? Like,
Oh.
yeah.
To the spaceship. Like,
He still seemed to think it was maybe.
So that's the
going to
thing.
happen.
Like, he could have got trapped in a cult where they jacked off all the time. See,
Yeah,
that was the problem for it. So it's just like when you find a cult that kind of
Masturbation
matches
cult.
up with.
Yes.
Exactly.
Robin, you could join an air dry cult. It's like free, and me too.
I
like,
could lead it. Look at me.
Right, like free yourself from the bonds of needing to have a perfectly smooth cuticle. You know, like free yourself from the patriarchy and what they're telling you about your hair and shit like that. You could
call it dryentology.
Oh, yeah. Dryentology. And just like Keith Raniere, we're going to insist in our cult of hair dryers that we play volleyball at 3:00 in the morning and talk about sex and discuss how Albany is the center of everything important.
Yes. I'm in. John, do you have a Just Me or Everyone?
Yes, so I'm actually excited for this one because I feel like Tony might actually be on my side for this.
Okay.
So I am a drummer as well, not of any sort of repute, but I have been drumming since I was 11, and I was in a few local bands and stuff, and I still play. There's actually an electric drum set just right over there.
Nice.
But instead of humming songs, I will drum songs. So like I could be just like walking to my car, you know, whatever, and I will just be like I'll just be like or whatever. Like I just have where I'm just like making the sounds with my mouth, but like my wife thinks that that's absolutely insane behavior, and she said
Insane or
like,
annoying? Just kidding.
Both.
Kidding.
No, absolutely. She thinks it's annoying. And it makes you look like a psycho. Because I think if you're doing it while you're like passing someone on the sidewalk, they just see your face contorted into doing like, you know, or whatever. And so, yeah, Becca was like, I don't even think you could bring this on the podcast because there's no one on earth who does this. But Tony, you're saying you do it too.
Sort of. I don't do it with my mouth. I'll tend to like tap on my legs
with his
or
butt.
whatever. Yeah. But
certainly you do the tapping. You got a pen or whatever. Yeah. Okay. So I fully will just be doing it with my mouth.
Yeah, I think that maybe happens sometimes, but yeah, the tapping happens like subconsciously. Like I don't even realize I'm doing it a lot of the time, and then it annoys people that I'm watching a movie with because I'm not paying attention to the movie. I'm singing a song in my head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Daniel has this drafting table. So, because Daniel is a artist in his spare time, and he's like working on this graphic novel, and he has this drafting table, and he has these two, I don't know, it has this like spring-loaded mechanism thing that I don't know what the purpose of it is. And then it also has like a metal light and then some other metal light, like two pieces of metal that touch each other. And he also, whenever he's working, he always has his actually, like most of the time he has AirPods in, which creates a lot of like me talking to him and then me saying, are you listening to something? And him reassuring me that he's just has them in his ears. He's not listening to something. And so anyway, there was this constant like rattling, like sound of what I thought was a drum solo vibration sound. And I thought he was listening to drum solos. And I was so into the idea of him working on something while listening to drum solos. Because occasionally I have listened to drum solos. Like I enjoy listening to drum solos. I'm always trying to get Tony to do drum solos, and he's not a drum solo guy. But yeah. So I was like,
it's a different thing. Yeah, you have to be an asshole.
And
that's the whole.
I'm like super into assholes, I guess. And my husband's not an asshole, but I guess that's why I was so like. It was almost like role play, the idea of him listening to drum solos. I'm like, who did I marry? But it turned out it was just his fucking drafting table, like the two lamps knocking into each other, creating a vibration. He was not listening to anything. But for like an hour and a half, I was like, who's this guy listening to drum solos? But then it was beginning to annoy me. And so now it's still doing it. And I'm like, basically it went from me being like excited that he was listening to drum solos to me being like, you have got to get rid of this table. It is making the most annoying. It's almost like a loose snare or something. This story was not worth it. Robin, do you have
loose snare? It was worth it for that.
Do you have it just me or everyone?
I do. And it's really private and it's really personal, but it's really the truth of who I am, which is when I see somebody with a very distracting mole on their face or their chest or their neck or a skin tag, I have an internal fight with myself. I would never say it out loud, but I say to myself, why won't they get that removed? That looks not healthy. Why won't you take it off your body and make me stop looking at it? It's a very selfish thing. But if you have, I think I tweeted this once and it's so dumb, but if you have a distracting mole, that's on you. You've got literally, you've got to take care of it, because if you've got a big mole, it's the only thing I'm looking at. And that shows you how vain I am as a person, vain and shallow and all those things. If my boyfriend has a skin tag, we drive immediately to the dermatologist, or he rips it off.
Oh God!
No. He doesn't rip it off. That's so.
I like that all of us were. Ooh.
No. But you can't. I mean, you can, but you shouldn't. You should not rip off skin tags, but you should get your moles checked.
Robin,
you should get them removed. Get them all removed.
Get this, Robin. No, that's not true. I haven't had a mole check since I was 15.
Wow. Bold.
I know. I am living on the edge.
Yeah, we're living on borrowed time.
I know. It's insane.
But what I appreciate is whatever moles you have, I'm not seeing them.
No, they're covered
and
up.
I'm not distracted by them.
I know. Yeah, it's a good question. It makes you wonder what are maybe they're afraid. Maybe they like that there's one long hair growing out of it. Like, what's going on?
Just get them removed. Take them off.
Robin, how do you feel about birthmarks?
Listen, birthmarks are just a part of, some people have those strawberry birthmarks, and I think birthmarks are actually really different in a way.
Okay. Well, I was just because my wife has a pretty distinctive birthmark on her neck, and I happen to think it's like very cute. So then when you were saying all these, I was like, I don't know how I feel about.
Well, wait, you're really good friends with Busy Phillips, right?
I am. she has so many moles. But here's the thing about Busy: she has so many moles that you don't even see them anymore. You know what I mean? I'm serious.
So if you have a mole around Robin, you either need to get rid of it
or get more.
50,
get more
or
moles,
have 50
It's
more.
true. My dear friend Karen, I shared this with her because she's a therapist. I said, I have this problem and I get distracted. Well, she's not my therapist, but she is a therapist who has a lot of moles. And she was like, moles, that's so strange. And she was like, what do you think about me? And I was like, you have so many, I can't see them. I said the same thing to her. I'm talking more and I also memorize where they are. Like, so if an actor comes back, I'm like, oh, I know where that guy's mole is. That guy's got a distracting mole on his forehead. I can't watch this movie. Taron Egerton was in the Elton John movie. He has a distracting mole right on his neck, right in the middle.
I actually do know of someone who has a mole on her face and it does protrude and it is distracting.
See, but birthmarks, just to be clear, John, I'm a fan. I'm a fan of birthmarks. I have a friend who has a giant red birthmark all the way up her leg, and I happen to think it's awesome, you know. But these big honking ones that just stare you right in the face, I can't take it.
So did you have like a really hard time with Cindy Crawford being like a huge sex symbol in the 90s?
The truth is I stared at that mole a lot. And then I did. And then there was a Rolling Stone article. Oh God, if I remember correctly, it was like, if you look at this opening line was like, if you look at Cindy Crawford, the first thing you see is her mole. But if you look further down her neck, you'll see another mole right below her clavicle. So I was like, I've got to find and now it's all I see is the second mole. I have a problem. I shouldn't discriminate. It's not fair. It's not right. It's not right.
I love that you shared this with us. Thank you.
It's so private.
I would like to say hello and welcome to my new patrons.
Patreon.
Allison wants to say thank you to a couple of special people out there who signed up to be new patrons. Patreon.com/AllisonRosen.
Hello and welcome to Jody, who signed up for an annual subscription. And hello and welcome to Spencer Shepard, who signed up as well. They are both at the texting level, which means they are both nice people. Again, patreon.com/AllisonRosen is where you go. This has been super duper fun. Please follow me on social media at Allison Rosen. If you enjoy what you're hearing, or even if you don't, please make sure you're subscribed and leave us a nice comment on Apple Podcasts or wherever you're listening. Click 5 stars. We read them in a segment called iTunes Comments of the Week, which we are overdue for doing, and we will do that soon. Check out my other podcasts, Upworthy Weekly and Childish. And John and Stefan, everyone should check out Blocked Party. It is a very fun show. And I'll go around and give everyone a chance to put in their plugs. John, where should people find you and what should they look out for?
Yeah, you mentioned it. Blocked Party. We're on Twitter at Blocked Party Pod. We have a guest on every week to talk about a time that they were blocked. And as you said, you have been on a main free episode of the show as well as a bonus episode of the show. So if you're a fan of this show, that's a good place to start with our episode with Allison. We just had episode 200. So
Congrats.
Thank you very much. So we've got, a lot of fun guests have been on the show. Tony Hawk, Ike Barinholtz, Nikki Glazer. There's a ton. So yeah, it's a great time. And then I don't know if this is your listeners' thing or not, but I also have a podcast about nu metal called the POD Cast, which is me and my friend Brian review a classic nu metal album every month. If you don't know what nu metal is, that's like your Korns, your Limp Bizkits, your Linkin Parks of the world. That's at the POD_cast on Twitter. That's spelled cast with a K. And then as for myself, I'm a stand-up comedian. You can find both of my albums on iTunes, and you can follow me on Twitter at Cullen the Comic.
Wonderful. And Stefan, what about you?
Well, I'm on Blocked Party also, so all the stuff that John just said. And then you can follow me on Twitter at boring_as_heck. And I have a Twitch stream, which I mentioned before, where we play a lot of, people pay us to play a lot of weird sounds. And we do like normal stuff on there too sometimes.
You do?
And that's called the Go Off Kings. We stream 4 nights a week, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Pacific, Monday to Thursday. And you can find us twitch.tv/GoOffKings.
Wonderful. Robin, what about you?
Well, I am at Robin Shorr on Instagram, ROBINSHORR. And I just looked on Spotify to see if my old podcast from 5 years ago, Those Feel Is the Podcast, was still up. It's not. You can't find it anywhere. It doesn't exist.
But they can just think about it.
Just think about it. Amy Mann did the theme song. It was great. So 5 years ago, I did a podcast that you can't listen to now, but you can follow me on Instagram.
Wonderful. And Tony, what about you?
Twitter and Instagram at
Tony Thaxton.
and
Tony Thaxton.
Oh, that's
Sorry.
good.
my podcast, Bizarre Albums, every Tuesday. And yeah, that's it for now.
Excellent. You guys, thank you so much for listening. Listeners, thank you so much for being on the show. Listeners, thank you for listening. I love you. You matter. Goodbye.
Hey, do you know about the Allison Rosen Show? fast.